Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman Show and my series of videos on crystals. The crystal I'm going to be speaking to you about today is a rather unusual one. It's called Ametrine. I'm just going to show you. This is a gorgeous Ametrine matrix which is done in a sacred geometric shape, and it was actually recently given to me by a very good friend of mine. This particular crystal to me is a really potent a bit of a portal, really. It's quite a powerful stone, and I'm sure that the combination of the citrine, the amethyst, and the sacred geometric shape that it's been carved into actually gives it a higher potency. The wonderful thing about Ametrine is it's also known as Tristine or Bolivianite because it was originally brought back from the Spanish conquistadors from the Americas back to Spain. It is naturally occurring in its own right, but it's possible to create this stone in a laboratory. As far as I know, this one is a naturally occurring Ametrine, and you can actually see the gold of the citrine running through the beautiful deep purple of the amethyst. I keep seeing faces in these crystals while I make these videos. I can see one now as I'm holding it up. What's wonderful about Ametrine to me is that it's very good for clearing the mind, clearing your thoughts. Amethyst is very much a stone of higher consciousness, and both are great stones for manifesting. If you place an amethyst, a citrine, and a pyrite or fool's gold in the southeast corner of your home or your office or whatever place you want to manifest abundance in, they're really great manifesting stones. But it's almost one of those, be careful what you wish for. If you're working with this stone, keep your thoughts only focused on what you want, not what you don't want. Because if you are focusing on what you don't want, or if you've got a lot of worries going on, then it might just amplify that. It's very good for helping you navigate through any problems, though. So say amethyst is very good for bringing to the surface, bringing to your awareness things that need attention in your life. So if there's something that you haven't been looking at and you work with an amethyst, it's likely to bring that to the surface so that you can move through it quicker and you can acknowledge what's going on, and you can well, we know that burying our emotions or burying our thoughts and feelings is not a healthy thing. So the amethyst will help to bring it to the surface so that it's there to look at. And then the citrine is a really happy, bubbly stone, so it can help you work through it with joy. I always think that citrine, to me, the yellow of citrine reminds me a lot of the Archangel Jophiel, with that yellow, bubbly, happy, joyful energy, but it's also the gold of higher wisdom. So the wonderful thing about this stone is that it can help you to clear your thoughts. If you're going through any kind of confusion in any situation in your life, you can work with Ametrine to help you move through it. First of all, to show you what the problem is, to make it more clear in your mind exactly what's going on or what you're dealing with, whether that's emotionally or whether you're just facing confusion or you have decisions to make. And then the citrine can help you move through it with hope and with joy in your heart, renewed vitality. One of the things I have found this stone particularly helpful for in recent times is that there are many people on this planet right now going through what we call a bit of a spiritual crisis. We're starting to wake up and we're starting to realize that there's more going on in this world than we at first thought. And as you start to expand your awareness and you start to become more aware of light, you also start to become more aware of the stuff that isn't so great on this planet. And sometimes when you start to understand the truth of what's going on, it can be a little bit frightening or a little bit disconcerting. This is a great stone to have in your pocket, in your bag of tricks, if you're going through a spiritual crisis. I would suggest perhaps spending some time alone, really grounding yourself, really coming back into the 3D world, maybe going out in nature, and maybe just meditate with this stone on your forehead or on what we call your third eye center. Place this stone on your forehead and just ask for the properties of this stone to be amplified through the neural pathways of your brain to help balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain and to help bring more clarity of thought and more positive thoughts into your mind. And allow the energy of the Ametrine just to call in your higher mind and come back to what you know. If there's a situation where you're feeling confused and you don't have the answers, just let that go. Let go of the need to know and just come back to what you do know. And just meditate with this stone. Allow this stone to take any worries that you have any cares, any fears about what might be the outcome of any situation, especially at the moment with what's going on the news. I mean, if you're watching the news and you feel a little bit overwhelmed with situations on this planet, just hand it over. Ask that your higher consciousness to filter it through the ametrine crystal and just to dissolve anything. The wonderful thing about the amethyst part of this Bolivianite is that it is very highly associated with what we call the violet ray or the violet flame. And the violet flame is a very powerful transmuting, cleansing energy. And obviously the gold also is associated with the higher Christ consciousness. So in meditate, you can meditate on this crystal. If you have an ametrine at home that you want to work with, or you want to get your hands on one, I totally recommend working with this stone at the moment. But if you don't have one, you don't have to be in the vicinity of it. You could just meditate on this one here that I'm holding and ask it to amplify its energy. You could also place it on the crown, though that's a little bit more potent. So I tend to place it here on the third eye. And then I just ask for it to filter out any negative thoughts. If you want, you can imagine sending a ball of this energy into your pineal gland, into the very center of your brain. And see the gold and the violet energy swirling together, and create a ball of light in the center of your brain, and have the intention to send any negative or confused thoughts into that ball of light so they can start to dissolve and transmute and start to become more positive thoughts. As humans, we also influence each other, so you may be finding that if you're a sensitive person, you might also take on the thoughts and feelings of other people around you, or the collective consciousness. There's a lot of fear on this planet at the moment. So in order to transmute and dissolve those energies, just imagine sending it into that ball of violet and golden light in the center of your brain, transmute it, and then send it out, send it up to the divine, and ask for any clarity, and then let go of the need to know. And in the coming days and weeks, you might actually find that suddenly a light bulb goes on in your head, and that moment of clarity arrives, and whatever you've been confused about, you might suddenly have an epiphany, an overnight understanding of whatever that confusion has been. Ametrine is a really, really amazing stone to work with. And as I said, this particular one to me is a little bit of a portal. I've had some guides appear through this stone. So if you want, you can also just meditate a little bit on this particular stone. And just ask if there's any guides that need to make themselves known to you. These are only light guides. It could be an angel. To me, this stone is very connected with Pleiadian energy, Pleiadian consciousness, which is a higher ascended race of stellar light beings, galactic light beings. And the night that I received this crystal, actually, I was falling asleep. This crystal was in another room in my house on my altar. But as I was falling asleep, I had a vision of a beautiful Pleiadian light being appearing from this crystal. So it is, to me, it is a portal to the Pleiades constellation. And funnily enough, you know, I have a few guides from that place, and they're all here to help us in our ascension into higher consciousness, our evolution. So when you've finished working with the beautiful ametrine crystal, just imagine that you are shrouding yourself in white light, and then maybe place a cloak of protection or a bubble of protection around yourself. Ask for the energy of the crystal or the healing from the crystal to be grounded into your everyday reality. And again, I've said this in other videos, that we're here to create heaven on earth, so we don't disconnect. When we finish working with it, we bring all the energies into our waking reality so that they can start to have a positive effect on our everyday lives. And you can ask the energy of the ametrine crystal to come with you wherever you go. You can take it into the office and put a bubble around you if you wish, or if you're traveling on public transport. If you're going to a meeting and you need the words to say and the clarity of thought to assist you in speaking your truth, or having the clear words to come through in anything that you need to, if you're having a conversation with someone and you need help. And the angel that I find is really good to work with in that regard as well is Archangel Uriel, who always will give you the words to say in any given situation, give you the right words to say, and to come from a much higher perspective in any given moment. So just thank the crystal, thank the consciousness of ametrine, and just ask for its energy to be integrated into your energy field. Make sure you ground yourself into your physical body. Just feel the weight of your body on the chair, feel your connection to the earth, shrink your energy field right back in, and you can imagine that you've got a cocoon or a bubble or a cloak of protection around you. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes and come all the way back into waking reality. And you can work with Ametrine, as I said, whether you have a crystal handy or whether you just want to ask the consciousness of Ametrine, because we all have access to the Akashic record. If you want to just invite the consciousness of Ametrine to come and be in your energy field, you can. You don't physically need to have the crystal handy, and that's the beauty of any of this. We all have a divine mind, we all have a higher self, and we are infinite, and everything we want is within our grasp. So if Ametrine exists, which it does, you can access it at any time, just through your intention. So thank you so much for watching this video about Ametrine, and I hope you have a great day.